6-month break from face-to-face meetings. We've still not got anywhere near the number of guys attending that were attending pre-lockdown. So we're just trying to gradually building that back up again, and it is tough. You know, I know that the people do need the support. When you've been so isolated and self-sufficient so long, it's hard to reach out and go outside of your comfort zone and outside of your bubble to ask for it. And it's daunting going to a new place anyway. It's daunting going to the supermarket, you know, with all the risks and stuff. So to go somewhere completely new where you don't know anybody and it's a new experience, it really is tough, but it is so worthwhile to have somewhere where you can go and talk about things and get stuff off your chest. I'd encourage anybody to do it.
There's nothing like, you know, meeting strangers that are the friends that you haven't met yet. And there's nothing like going to a safe space, have a cuppa with your mate, you know, and just, oh, guys, I had a horrible week. This and this and this and this happened. And then just knowing that whatever you say does not leave, you know, and it's so important. I cannot stress enough how important it is to have that there, a group, even a person that you can count on to just hear you out, even when you feel like you don't make sense, when you're feeling like utter shit, to be fair. You know what I mean? It's just nice to have that.
We're very social creatures as human beings, and I think a lot of those social interactions have been stripped away from us with, you know, technology. People don't communicate face to face as much as we used to. We communicate through mobile phones, social media. Mm-hmm. Mostly by text rather than actual voice, and it takes away so much from our day-to-day lives that we need those social interactions, and especially in the culture that we've got at the moment with banner and stuff like that. People keep a lot of themselves to themselves. They don't want to expose themselves. So, like you said, to have somewhere where you know it's a safe place and you know that everything's confidential, it's priceless in this day and age. It really is.
Yeah, it really is, and we need more spaces like that and more help out there. I think it's a really good idea to actually have a group that's, you know, specified for men, you know, because I think it's more important than ever to have that resource, because like male suicide keeps going up and up and up. Just the statistics are crazy. It just keeps going up and up and up. It's like I could go there and say, oh, but everything's going to be okay. But then, yes, I can tell my story to the world. But a lot of men out there, specifically men, they'll be like, well, you don't understand, you are a woman. It's like, well, okay, there are certain things I might not understand. Biologically, there might be some things I don't understand. But then goes both ways. But I really think what makes Andy's Man Club unique is first the story behind it, and also how it's expanding so much. You know, having all these different meetings as well, places, and it's been astonishing to see it grow, and just in a small amount of time as well. And I am glad, you know, as a human being that cares about other human beings, that this exists.
Yeah.
And I saw a picture of the bus. You guys have a bus? Did you have like a tour bus at some point?
Yeah, we did a tour. It was last year. We were actually supposed to go on tour again this September.
Oh yeah, okay.
It was really good. It was more to raise awareness than anything. We got a couple of tour buses in and put our logos all over them. And we stopped off in every town and city where we've got a club, and we stopped and spoke to the guys that attend the clubs there and their families, and it was so powerful speaking to family members and friends of people that attend the clubs across the country, to share their experience of the impact that it's had on their loved ones. And again, for me, who's seen where we started and where we've come from, it was just phenomenal. It was so powerful. It was, and just to be on the coach with for the weekend with other facilitators from across the country as well. You know, that some of them are quite far away, and I don't get to spend as much time with them as I'd like. So, you know, we've got clubs up in Scotland and as far down south as Plymouth. and we all came together and went on this journey together. And it was absolutely fantastic.
That's absolutely incredible. Just to actually be able to do that, with the support from people, all over the country, but also like being able to actually be a registered charity. How long have you been a registered charity?
We spent the first couple of years as a peer-to-peer support group, a community organisation. I think it was only a couple of years ago that we actually became a registered charity, so about halfway through the journey that we've been on so far. And that did give us the resources and the scope to grow further. We got to a point where we realised we were getting too big to carry on doing things with the way we were doing them, and we had to change the model a little bit. But in doing so, we opened so many doors. I think it was about the time when my colleague Andy Greenway took on his role a couple of years ago. So to have somebody there who could oversee the clubs and actively go out setting up new clubs, and now there's two of us, and we can do so much more.
I was just thinking, that's what you just said. Like, I am very excited about all this, and I'm so, grateful that there's something there is happening. Yeah, it's absolutely amazing. I was just thinking, the people that actually come to the groups. Mm-hmm. Is there like what I was thinking is just more of like, is there like a specific age group that comes in, or do you get people from all, obviously 18 plus, but younger people as well coming in through the doors?
There is no specific walk of life. There's no specific age, no specific background. We have lads right from the age of 18, and the oldest gentleman I've seen at the club, I think, is 84. All walks of life, from people that are homeless to people that run their own businesses and professional sports people and things like that. When you walk through the doors of one of our clubs, everybody's equal. All titles and judgments are left at the door, and everybody's there for that one purpose, to help themselves and help other people. But it's such a wide range of people, and it just goes to show that no matter who you are, no matter where you come from, everybody suffers with mental health problems at some point in their life. And it doesn't alienate you. If anything, it makes you more human. The fact that you do have these feelings and you do have these emotions and you do need to talk about them. And that affects everybody. It's not just any type of person, but it affects absolutely everybody.
Absolutely, we all human beings, and it affects us, and it can be so difficult dealing with something like this. It would be difficult for more than one person than another, and but I think for you, like from going from that first meeting to now, are you grateful that you went? Absolutely,
it changed my life. So when I actually attended the first meeting, I was off work on sick with depression, and shortly after, a couple of weeks with going down there, I felt well enough to go back to work. A couple of months later, I'd actually got a new job, doing something that I was more interested in. I've just taken my life's gone from strength to strength.
That's really, really good to hear.
An outlet to be able to open up and it's made me a lot more confident in all areas of my life. And just knowing if anything happens throughout the week, I know that I've got somewhere that I can go and talk about it on Monday night. So I don't bottle anything up anymore. I don't worry about things that are outside my control. I don't live my life in that sort of negative environment anymore. And once you change to the positive cycle, it just opens up so many more opportunities and opens so many more doors for you.
Would you give any, what would your advice be for someone that's thinking about going to a meeting and they aren't sure?
Just give it a try. Every single person that's in that room understands how difficult it is to walk through that door for the first time, because they've all done it. You'll be welcomed with open arms. You'll be listened to and you'll be cared for. Like I say, the people that go to the meetings, they not only want to get help for themselves, but they also carry on going because they want to help other people. Helping other people helps ourselves with anyway. Do you know what I mean? It gives you a sense of purpose, it's almost a sense of gratitude for being there. But if it takes you a couple of weeks driving around the block, if you sit outside in your car for the first couple of weeks, just get down there and try your hardest to get through those doors and talk to somebody, because it's invaluable. It really will change your life.
That's really good, because I have been to groups myself, support groups, and I've seen seeing something on Facebook or Twitter offering support, and my first thought is like, I'm too scared of going. It's sort of like, my first thought was like, who would care about what I have to say? Who would care about any of the words like come out of my mouth? And for so long, I'd put it off until one day I was just like, no, I really need to sort myself out. I suffer from depression, anxiety, I have PTSD. But because I always thought that I always had to be the strong person for my kids. Now, I have 2 kids, both of them are on the autistic spectrum. My son is 6 years old and he's non-verbal autistic, so he can't really do a lot. And then there's my daughter, she's nearly 9, and she is on the what we call high functioning. So she's very intelligent, very intelligent kid. But she struggles with her emotions and social cues and empathy sometimes. I've always wanted to be that person that my kids could see that everything was all right, nothing's wrong. But obviously inside I was, breaking into pieces. But yeah, it was very difficult to go somewhere, especially in a group setting, because you feel like, personally, this is my story, I felt going to a group setting that as soon as I walked through that door, all eyes were on me, right? It's like, who's this person? I felt like everyone was just staring at me, and it was scary, right? It was scary as hell, man, honestly. First day there, 1 hour meeting, it was scary. It was a lot of tears from everyone. They're telling their stories and why they're there, and then I was just like, oh gosh, I'm not doing this again. I thought to myself, I'm not doing this again. Then the next meeting came. I was just like, oh, I don't want to do it. I was so, honestly, I was just like, no, I'll give up. But then I start thinking about my kids. I'm like, no, I need to be the best version of myself that I can be for these 2 people. Yeah, they're the most important people in my life. And I went again, and it was just easier. It was just, it gets easier. The more often you go, it gets easier. And I can vouch that it was, honestly, it's the best thing that there is out there, is having a support group, and it was the best thing that I could have done, to, in a way, save myself. And I feel much better for it. I'm still going to lots of different, still go to support groups. I still talk to people about all this stuff, but yeah, it's, honestly, it is very, very difficult. Very difficult, but it's just being just that little bit, like, to just think what's so important, that, your mental health is so important, so that you can take care of yourself, so that you can take care of the people that mean the most to you. And that's what triggered me to do it.
That's something that I live my life by, And it's something that my mum actually said to me when I was not very well. She said, you've got to look after yourself, so that before you look after those that are around you, and you've got to be selfish about it sometimes. And she's absolutely right. If I'm not well in myself, how can I then put it on myself to look after other people as well? I'm just making my job a lot harder. It's not a nice environment for them to be in. So for me, like you said, I need to be the best version of me, so that I can do what's right for those around me, and look at help other people to get through their problems, and help my kids be the best version of themselves as well.
Absolutely. And honestly, just by having this conversation with you, I know, and I can tell by the person that you are, that your kids will look up to you and say, wow, like my dad was having a shit time, but he sorted